Hello and welcome back to Matthew Some Golf. What I want to go over today is something that I learned from several different teachers, two in particular that I worked with in the past. One is John Gustin, who was the head pro at Birmingham Country Club back when I was playing at University of Alabama, Birmingham back in the late 80s. And he went on to take a job at Sea Island afterwards. And then when I came back to Iowa, I raised up a call to Bill Rose, who was the head pro at Wakanda Club at one time. And Wakanda Club here in Iowa, Des Moines, Iowa, is where the Principal Cherry Classic is played on the Senior PGA Tour. Well, anyway, you're not going to want to miss what's coming up in this video. So I would stay tuned. With regard to Mr. Gustin and Mr. Rose, of course, Mr. Gustin was best of friends with Ben Hogan, as many know who are understanding of the history of the golf industry. And Bill Rose was a teacher of many great amateur players here in Iowa, one including Mike McCoy, who probably still right now is one of the world-ranked amateur golfers in the state. And I tried qualifying several times for the U.S. Amateur, and the times that I did not make it, they only took one person out of the state of Iowa. The entire state of Iowa is a qualifying site to get to the U.S. Amateur, and I came in second place a couple of times behind Mr. Mike McCoy. And Bill Rose was his teacher for many years. So what I want to talk about is coming into impact and this move that we have coming down into the ball, which is a throwing of the palm, feeling like the palm is coming into the point of impact where we're at right here. And if you remember Hogan and the five modern fundamentals of the five fundamentals of the modern swing, he said, I wish I had 3 right hands to hit the ball with. And that's this right here. In the right-handed swing, the right hand and right arm are the primary drivers of what's going on in the golf swing, especially into the impact zone. So it's a descending blow. You're feeling this action coming down into the ball. Now what happened, which is the key, that is the topic of what I'm going to talk about today, is the spiraling through the ball of that palm, low and left. So it's kind of like turning the wheel counterclockwise. It's here and rolling this direction. And we don't want to be our head moving forward when we're coming into impact zone either. So this common ingredient, they didn't actually tell me this, but it's something that I've put together over time. And also knowing some Hogan swing aficionados, you know, they're talking about the same thing as far as this roll of the right palm as you're coming through the strike zone, the spiral of the forearm, some call it. With Mr. Gustin, what he would tell me when I was coming into the ball, because I was swinging, you know, I grew up in the 70s as a golfer, and I played college golf throughout the 80s and late 80s and a little bit professionally afterwards. You know, I was very much a 70s swinger, you know, the reverse C, very upright. And when I first went to go see Mr. Gustin in 86, the first thing that he wanted me to do was to flatten out my swing and get lower and left coming through the ball. And this enhances and actually creates this whole spiral of the right forearm, okay? And then we've got Bill Rose. I came back to Iowa, wanted to visit with somebody that was a known commodity as far as golf instruction. So I went to Bill Rose, and in his lesson that he gave me, he was big about, one, setting a tee in the ground about 8 inches in front of the ball on target line. This has a little bit to do with what we're talking about, but it really is the essence of what Bob emphasized, or excuse me, what Bill emphasized to me. But the other thing that he talked about was the rolling of the forearms as we came through the ball. And then you wanted to pass over that tee and then on to the finish. So he was talking rolling the forearms. Okay. Mr. Gustin, we'll do it this way. Rolling the forearms was Bill. Okay. Mr. Gustin was try to hit your left knee. I was having that high finish with that reverse C action. Try to hit your left knee coming through the ball. Low and left. And that felt very, very awkward and weird. And it took me a while to be able to go from this all the way to this. But once I got it down, I began to hit the ball with much more power, much more compression, much more accuracy. But looky here. Rolling of the forearms. Keep an eye on what's going on with that right hand and right palm. Rolling of the forearms, Bill Rose. Swinging it left and low with John Gustin. You see this with the right hand? Okay, so they did not necessarily say, hey, you've got to come down with that just like Hogan and 3 right hands, and you want to smack that ball. I wish I had 3 right hands, was Mr. Hogan saying in the 5 modern fundamentals of golf. Nobody said spiral it, wipe it, counterclockwise rotation as you're coming into impact with that right palm. But that's essentially what happened with every one of those. Every one of those examples that I gave you, one being Mr. Gustin and one being Mr. Rose. And when you do it and do it properly, and it's got to turn into a low and left finish. Notice now I'm not rolling my forearms over the top of each other this direction. I did that and came back from a week and a half away from Mr. Gustin. He says, no, we can't do that. You roll, and then the club head gets vertical and on the follow through in here. With the sweep, low left, low left, low left. Okay. Don't have to swing hard. You get, I'm gonna hit one here. You don't have to swing hard. You're going to be coming down into the ball, creating and using a more power and leverage into the strike this way. The compression is the gold standard when it comes to especially irons. Okay, so let's give it a shot here, and I'll try to show it on video, and hopefully it's something that we can live with. Okay, low and left. We stay centered. Down into the ball. I'm thinking about that right hand, cupped right hand into the ball, swiping it on left. Excuse the sniffling. I've had a head cold for like the last 8.5 days. Okay, that was pretty crispy bacon there. And I think you might have saw what I'm trying to work on, this bent left knee as I'm coming through. I'm an older guy, and the left hip in the back really makes it difficult for me to rotate and stand up on that left leg with a straight left leg. But let's try to give it another go here. Palm down, wipe it. Rotate, spiral, counterclockwise, low and left. Don't move forward on the swing with your head until after impact. You got to stay behind the ball. You can see I still get a little wobbly on that left knee, don't I? But I'll tell you what, I will take those strikes. So there you have it. Nobody said specifically what the swing feeling needed to be for me, but I got there by what Mr. Gustin and Mr. Rose told me. 2 completely different ways to explain it. but it got me to the same spot. And I hit the ball extremely, extremely well working under both of them. Rolling of the forearms feel, trying to hit the left knee feel, it's all the same. It's all the same. Spiraling downward. And I will say on pitch shots and shorter iron play, where it's about a 1/2 or 3/4 inch wedge or something along those lines into the green, I'll tell you what, this key of spiraling into the ball and descending blow, I'll tell you what, it really, really helps me with my wedge game too. Really crisp shots, lower shots, more spin. Give it a shot. I think you're going to like it. See you next time on Mathewson Golf.